Open your book to page 164. So today's lesson is learn how to multiply any two polynomials. So when you multiply polynomials, you use the distributive property. So let's go over example 1. Again, this is review from your Algebra 1. So there's nothing new over here. You learn all this in Algebra 1. So when you have a multiplication of polynomial, you just distribute. So you can use your fingers, or I'm going to draw the arrows to show you what I'm doing, but you don't have to draw arrows. Easier thing for you guys to do is make good use of your fingers. You got lots of fingers, make good use of it. So this is what you do. You do this way, right? So multiply, multiply, multiply. When you're done, you go to the next one, multiply, multiply, multiply. So make a good use of your fingers. That way you can keep track of what you do. Because if you don't, very easy, especially when you have lots of terms, it's very easy to make a mistake. Okay? And another way to do it is by drawing arrows. So go like this. So that's 6x cubed. Okay? And then you multiply minus 9x squared. Distribute. So be plus 3x. So after you're done with the first term, then you go to the next term. So you multiply plus 4x squared. Multiply minus 6x. Multiply plus 2, okay? But if you don't like to draw arrows, just use your fingers. Go this way, write it down. Right, again, point, write it down. Point, write it down. When you're done, this way, write it down. Point this way, write it down. Write it down, okay? And after that, you have to combine the like terms. So start with your highest degree term. So that's your 6x to the cube. And then you go and get a square term. So this one and this one. So minus 5x squared, and then you can use parallelogram, practice your shapes, right? So this and this would be minus 3x, and the leftover is plus 2, and that's it. Okay? So that's how you do the most of the multiplication. But now, when you go to the bottom of the page 164, there are spatial multiplications. Okay? So those are shortcuts. Again, you need to be familiar with it. Okay? So the first one is when you have a plus b squared. If you don't know your shortcut, this is what you need to do. You need to have a plus b. You have to write it out twice, and you have to distribute. So you're going to get a squared plus ab, right? And then you have to over here, then you plus ab and plus b squared. Notice there are two ABs, okay? They came from this one and they came from this one, okay? And so that's where the middle term came from. So it's a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. But instead of doing this all the time, the easier way to do this is this, okay? Notice you have this over here, see that? That's your, so just do that. So you got a squared, that came from this, right? This came from for your method, right? So this is the f, right? The middle term, notice there are two of these. See, there are two ABs. So because of square, there are two ABs. So you just go and multiply 2 times A times B. See that? There are two of them, right? So A times B, that's where the AB came from. And there are two of them because of square, there are two of them. So remember to do this. So plus 2AB, that's your middle term. And then this one is a B squared, okay? So instead of doing all these, you just square the a, you get a squared, and middle term you multiply all this together, 2 times a times b, you get plus 2ab, and you square this, you get the end. Okay? And you do the same thing with the negative. So number 2, you got a minus b squared. The only difference is that for this one, again, if you do it the long way, which wastes time, so you're going to get a squared minus ab, and negative b times negative b, get plus b squared, right? So again, you see there are two of them, right? So the shortcut that you should know is you just square the a, you get a squared. The middle term, again, you multiply, and there are two of them, and it's negative, right? A times negative b will give you negative ab, and there are two of them. So again, all you have to just multiply this together, the three parts together, you get minus 2ab, right? So this came from that. And then you square that. Negative squared is positive, right? And so again, that's a shortcut. So you got to know how to multiply the perfect squares. So you shouldn't need to do these. It takes too long. Okay? So again, you square that, you get this. Multiply this together, get the middle term. You square it, you get the end. Right? So square, you get that. Square, you get that. Multiply, get the middle. Okay. Now let's go to number 3. So you have a plus b, a minus b. So this is called a conjugate. Okay? Again, if you multiply a plus b, a minus b, if you notice when you multiply you get a squared, multiply you get minus ab. Now because one is plus, one is minus, so when you distribute, okay, you're going to get the opposite. See that? And the middle is going to cancel out because again, one of them is plus, one of them is minus, so they're going to cancel out in the middle. So when you do this, right, the way to multiply conjugate is that since the middle is going to get canceled out, all you have is the f and the l, right? So all you have is the f and the l. So all you have is this and this. So the way to multiply is you just multiply the corresponding part. So a times a is a squared, right? Plus times minus is minus, b times b is b squared. So that's how you multiply the conjugate. Again, just multiply the matching part. So make sure you know how to multiply the spatial products. Okay. Okay. So let's go and do some practice.